So today we're going to be discussing about wine, what it is and how it's made, as well as the grape varietals that we use and where they're grown. Also some French terms and how geography can affect the grapes and their quality. So first of all, what is wine? Wine is basically an alcoholic beverage that was made with the fermented juice of grapes. Technically, we could make wine with any fruit, but if it states wine on the label, then it's made with grapes. So what grapes make wine? There are two distinct types. So there's table grapes and wine grapes. Table grapes are the ones that we consume as a snack, as a appetizer. They are more physically appealing. So what grapes make wine? There are two distinct types of grapes. So there's table grapes and wine grapes. Table grapes are more physically appealing to consume and larger in size than wine grapes. Wine grapes are smaller and full of seeds, which provides the necessary tannins to produce wine. If we look into the wine grapes, there are two distinct types. There's white wine grapes and red wine grapes. So now you may be wondering, what are tannins? So tannins are a natural occurring polyphenol. This is what we need to add both bitterness and astringency, as well as complexity to the wine that we're making. Wine tannins are most commonly found in red wine grapes, although some white wines have tannin too. The grape tannins come from the skins, seeds, and stems of a wine grape. So now we're going to be looking at the winemaking process. The step one is harvesting. Now this is the most important step for deciding the taste of the wine. The grapes are the only fruits that can be used to make stable wine, as they are the only ones with the necessary acids, tannins, and esters. Now, step two is crushing and pressing. So the grapes are then sorted and separated for the next stop of destemming and crushing. The aftermath of the pressed grapes is called the must. Step three is fermentation. So this is when the winemakers add yeast to the must. And now more and more they're adding commercially cultured yeast to ensure the desired results. This process continues until all the sugar in the must is converted into alcohol. This process may last anywhere from 10 days to a few months. Step 4 is clarification. So this is the process in which the solids in the must, such as the dead yeast cells, tannins, and proteins, are removed, and the wine is transferred into a different vessel, which is usually an oak barrel or a stainless steel tank. The last step is aging and bottling. So this is when the wine can be either bottled right away and sold, or can be left for further aging. Further aging can be done in bottles, stainless steel tanks, or oak barrels. However, the aging of wine in oak barrels is preferred, as it will produce smoother, rounder, and richer flavored wine. When making red wine, we need to ferment the juice with the skins in order to get that deep red color that red wines generally have. White wines, on the other hand, you have to press away the skins and collect the juice into a different vat for it to be fermented into wine. And rosé, on the other hand, is fermented with the skins for a period of time. The length of time will determine how deep the color is. So now we're going to be looking at the differences between natural corks and synthetic corks. So natural corks are made from the cork tree, which means that they are eco-friendly and can be recycled. The biggest benefit is its ability to let wine breathe. However, it may also cause the wine to become corked due to the TCA fungus that lives in cork trees. They are also prone to crumbling, which means that you may find bits in the wine glass or wine bottle. Synthetic corks, on the hand, will not have this problem, as they are made from low density polyethylene, which means they are not prone to crumbling. And they can also be recycled, though they do not have the ability to let wine breathe. However, wine experts are optimistic that as technology continues to improve, the synthetic cork will be able to mimic the breathing and aging process of the natural cork. And it is much cheaper to produce. However, it does not look traditional. This leads us on to our next topic, which is wine names by region or grape varietal. This comes down to whether it is New World wine or Old World wine. So, for New World wine, the winemakers choose to name their wines after the sole or principal grape varietal that has gone into making the beverage. For Old World wine names, however, they receive the name of the region from which the wine was made. This is because the winemakers believe you can taste the wine's terroir just as well as the characteristics. The second factor being soil types. So soil types play a big role in how grapes grow up and to what kind of grapes they become. So the amount of nutrients plays a huge role in their character, concentration, and the quality of the grapes. The third and final factor is climate. So this takes into account the weather patterns and atmospheric conditions that can develop or destroy wine grapes. So these factors include the rainfall, humidity, wind, frost, hail, and quality of sunlight. This can impact the grape's skin thickness, which ultimately leads to the level of tannins. Also, the best vintages result from climates that allow steady, slow growth. You may be wondering, what do we mean by vintage? So, derived from the word vin, which means wine in French, it refers to the year of the grape harvest and for the production year of the wine made from those harvested varietals. So a wine that is labeled vintage should only be made from the grapes that were grown and harvested from the vintage year specified on the label.
Wine region in Germany. What are the white and red wine of Germany? Germany produces wine in many styles like semi-sweet and sweet, white wine, rosé wine, red wine, and sparkling wine. German fish eat herring and Alaskan pollock around the city of Hamburg. Seafood flavored with dill, butterfish, Wiener Schnitzel. The Wiener Schnitzel, a baked-in pork cutlet, is part of many European cuisine. Dessert. Germany is well known for its pastry and Russian dessert. The grape variety grown in Germany, white grape, Bacchus. It is a large that with a sufficient ripeness can produce fruity wine with a distinctive Chardonnay. Chardonnay is one of the most popular grape varieties in the world. Even this Asian white variety is an early ripening Faber the prolific Hessian grape breeder cross with Muller to Goa in 1929 to produce this early ripening white variety. Red grapes. Muller Lamberger thrives in a warm climate and wine protects sight not less because but boosts its early and ripeness rate. Domina, a promising and relatively new red wine grape. Domina is a crossing of Portuguese and Spätburgunder that was bred at the Institute for Winebreeding. Don Fielder, a prolific, relatively early ripener. It produces wine far deeper in color than is typical of German red wine region in Australia. History of wine region in Australia. Australia's history of wine manufacture tracks back to its settlement in 1788 when Governor Arthur Phillip brought wine with him on first fleet. The grape variety grown in Australia: Midnight Beauty, Red Grove, Golden Grove, Camellia. Wine region in Italy. There are three major red wine producing regions in Italy. What is the history of winery vineyard? As in most of Italy, native wines are abundant in the land of that ancient which grapes are grown in the vineyard: Piedmont, Corvina, Molina, Rhodiola.
Wine region in Spain. The red wine of Spain. There are three major red wine production in Spain. The first one is Rioja, and the next one is Ribera del Duero, and the last one is Catalunya. History of vineyard. Rioja. Roman objects used for wine production have been found in Rioja. These containers were used for fermenting wine. Ribera del Duero. In the 19th century, the work of a two pioneers, the Ricanda family, began what would be changed for the Ribera del Duero. Catalunya. The first wine were planted by the Greeks more than 2,500 years ago. They created a coastal colony called Ornphalin for trading purposes. How are the wine fermented? The wine was sown in the wooden barrel or pigskin, with the resin known as churros. In the warmer climate and regions of lowest elevation, the red wine tilted begin to high in the alcohol to low in acidity. Which wine have the highest alcohol percentage? The highest alcohol wine is Grenache wine. The alcohol level of Grenache-based wine can be very high, often surpassing 15%. What temperature you recommend serving the wine? Temperature for serving red wine is 12 to 18 Celsius. How long can you serve the wine? Bottled red wine lasts for 2 to 3 years. Often red wine lasts for 1 to 2 weeks. How can tell if a wine is clogged or bad? Smell the wine. If wine is clogged, it will have and although that you would expect from good wine, it may smell musty or in the drank towel, wet dog, wet cardboard, or newspaper. Taste the wine. If the wine has been exposed to a small amount of TCA, it may be difficult to describe for sure whether or not it's corked by smelling it alone.